Okay, we have Patrick here with us. Hello, Patrick, first of all.
Hello, Karina. How are you?
Awesome. Very happy to have you here. I would introduce you. Patrick is accredited life coach practitioner with CTAA. He's a strategic relationships, goal setting, crisis management practitioner, entrepreneur, author of the book Decoding Hidden Talents, and a motivational speaker for up to 16 years. A qualified motion and graphic designer and CEO of newly company studio Pilot Media. Welcome, Patrick. That's as I said, it's very wow, and I'm more than happy to listen to you.
Thank you, Karina. I'm also excited to be part of this wonderful program, and I've learned a lot so far, and I know I'm going to learn so many things, great stuffs. Okay, so
excited.
Yeah, like what you have said, Patrick, Nerphetz Patrick, but many people, because they struggle to pronounce my name, the first name, that's why I use Patrick. But the Patrick is a surname. So Patrick, but my first name is Nerphetz. So thank you. Yeah, so I'm so excited to be part of this wonderful project, Grow Love Online, and I'm taking on my topic, how to build healthy relationships. How to build healthy relationships. I know it's one of the tough topic that like what you said earlier on, that you have to be a practitioner, you have to help people how to grow and build relationships. And so it takes a lot of things. When you are such kind of a practitioner, you have to deal with so many issues, and you have to really help people to succeed in whatever they are doing. So basically, I am a healthy relationship practitioner, a coach, a life coach, a strategic life coach. So first of all, I want to give you this introduction on relationships building skills that are combined of soft skills, and also that a person has to apply, or they have to apply to connect with another person and form a positive relationship. As opposed to many beliefs, people have got so many reasons why they enter into relationships or why they are into relationships. For example, some people are engaged because of maybe they were attracted, or some people because they really love the person, some because of the beauty, some because of so many different reasons. But I know, opposed to these ways, many people, they also have their own ways on interpreting it. But this is one of the things that I've discovered, and also I've seen that it works, and actually it's the true meaning of why people enters into relationships. So these are most of the basic things that makes people to enter into relationships. So the motives and the agendas are also part of the relationship. So this course is to help the people in the relationships, whether it's a new relationship or you want to enter into a relationship, or a couple, or you are married, and so on. So it's also going to let you identify some of the shortfalls and the things which are not right. And at the same time, how you can grow and become a better person, because the reason is for us to become better people to our partners. So I have got like points that I'm going to start with. So one of the points is these are key and objectives. So this I'm going to cover. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to cover all the points, all these points, but I'll try to give in. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, very good.
Okay, yeah. So these are some of the key points that I'm going to stress out. So the first point is going to be a racial identity. If we don't know why we enter into a relationship, it's going to be difficult for us to be in a relationship. I heard you, Karina, when you are speaking, motivating us. You quoted about the reasons that everything happens for a reason. But in most cases, people, they prefer to shift the reason. They take the feelings first that, okay, it's because I'm feeling in this way. But actually, before the feeling, there is a reason why a person will enter into a relationship. That's why I said that we have got different reasons why we enter into relationship. And also, another part is a relation value, the values that we have. And these are values that makes people not to be comfortable in a relationship because we are sharing different core values and someone has a different value. Okay, so these we are also going to stress out, and also we are going to look at the relationship rules, the rules that we set out to in the relationship, and also how to avoid fights and how to deal with negative feelings, self techniques to overcome suffering. Right. So first of all, I'm gonna speak about racial identity. The first thing is to identify the nature of the relationship that you are in. So this is going to help us identify why we are in the relationship. Is it just because we want to have fun? Is it because we want to grow? Is it serious? Is it not serious? So when we identify the real reason why we are in a relationship, it's going to help us so much. So we have to do a self-assessment because this is the main key. The self-assessment is the main key to understand the growth part. If you don't know yourself, it's not easy to know whether you are growing or you are not growing. So we have to engage self-assessment to understand fully about our lives and about everything. Now, let's assume this is the new relationship. It's early stage of the relationship. So the first aspect is to define whether you want to commit yourself into a relationship or you just want to have fun, or you are trying to, maybe some people, they will be in a relationship just to pass time, when they are trying to figure out whether the person is the real person that they want to be involved with. I wanted to speak about the steps of the relationship, but because of time, and I know some great coaches are also going to stress out much on that. So therefore, the first thing is you have to understand your partner. With those reasons, you have to understand your partner. If you don't understand your partner, then whatever reason you are in a relationship, it's not gonna work, because you are going to be doing two different things with the two different reasons and the motives. So avoiding being in a relationship with a person you are not comfortable with is one of the key. You don't enter into a relationship with somebody you are not comfortable with, and that is going to bring a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of fights, so this is one of the first tip that when you are entering into a relationship, whether it's for fun or whatever reason, you need to know that you are not entering into a relationship with a person you are not comfortable with. If you are in a relationship with somebody you are not comfortable with, it's not gonna be something that you wanted. So another key is make sure not to make promises that you can't keep. Many people, they enter into relationships and promises you a whole lot of things. They will say a whole lot of things and things that they cannot fulfill. And at the end of the day, it can kill your relationship, whether it's new or is something that has been in existence. So these are some of the identification of the relationship. Before we stress much on the relationship, you have to find out if you have the main life goals in common. Love, work, sharing, or children. It's very important. If you want to take things out serious, it's very important to know. And you have to be aware that you are going through several difficulties, and you have to be willing to overcome them with courage. Now, to live peacefully and engagement of a marriage, you need to review your habits and have the ability to adapt to the new status and be willing to accept changes that occur in a relationship. These are some of the factors that a lot of people have missed when they enter into relationships. So all of us, we have got expectations in a relationship, but the main expectation is to be loved. But I think that's where we miss a lot. The main fact is to be together for a longer period. But for us to be together for a longer period, there are so many things that are involved. Just like Mahmoud said concerning the communication and so on and so forth. So for us to be able to be in a relationship for a longer period, those are some of the things that we need to understand. That it's not just gonna be fine. It's not just gonna be heaven on earth. It's gonna be some challenges here and there, misunderstanding, fights, miscommunication in different ways. So those are some of the things that we have to understand. And also in a relationship, there are some other things like habits. Some people, we are different people. Like my friend said that we come from different countries. Some people would be that they are in a relationship with somebody who is not, who are not sharing the same values, and also they are not sharing the same country and culture and so many things. So when we are growing up, we met a lot of people with different habits that we saw that no, I don't think I can do this. Okay, because of how maybe we are brought up and where we are coming from. Those habits, they come to us, we develop them, or they are developed, or either maybe we see from our friends, from different things. So we take those habits into a relationship with somebody who's got different habits as well. But at the same time, what we want to see is the relationship work and stay longer, and to the point of you are understanding each other in so many different ways, making plans and so on and so forth. So these habits are the reasons why they block a lot of people to succeed, and also to create so many unnecessary tension and fights in a relationship, that it does not grow For example, somebody or one of the partner would have a habit that they, they love something. I don't know what example I can give, but you are not comfortable with their habit and you want them to change, but they are not ready to change. They will tell you that, no, I've been doing this, and wherever I've been, people have accepted me with these kinds of habits. So in that case, it's not gonna work, because they are two different things. They are habits that we term and we enter into relationships. So the first thing we need to understand is that relationship is between two people, us and our partner. So if this relationship is going to work, we have to agree on terms on how it's gonna work. At the same time, we need to find ways to make it work. If we cannot sit down and find ways and just enjoy the love feeling and so on, after some few time or some few days or months, you will find that there are now problems. That's when you start seeing those kind of challenges, those kind of problems. But earlier on, you couldn't, you cannot see them because your life is overflooded with love. So those feelings, you cannot see them. So it's not easy to see them when you just started new. But also to some other couples, some of the people, they have failed to resolve the issues pertaining the habits because another person was not willing to change their habits. Okay, so those habits, they are affecting the growth of the love life and the relationship to the point that people can be in a relationship for 5 years, 8 years, just persevering for the sake of maybe they love the person, and the person, they are not even willing to change. So in this case, before you decide to grow, you first need to know, sit down and discuss and point out things. What kind of a relationship do you want with your partner? Okay. What kind of a relationship do you want with your partner for things to work out? If you don't talk about this, things will not just change automatically. You have to sit down and find out. It's very important. If you remember, I talked first about the value, which I'm gonna talk the next before I finish talking about the identification of your relationship. Okay, so you have to find time and sit down with your partner to decide what kind of a relationship do you want us to be. Is it a long-term relationship, or is just a relationship that we just want to have fun, that we can just overlook some other things and move on with our lives? But if you really want to take things up higher, then you need to sit down, find time, and talk about everything that you want to make sure that this is gonna make our relationship work. So when you have time to talk about, you need to be open to each other. You have to be open to each other, and you have to stress out the truth about what you want. That is going to identify if you share the same values with the person. When you talk about what you want in a relationship and how do you expect it to be, I know it may not be the same way you want it, because the other person might also have their own ways, how they want things to go out. So, but the first thing is you need to be honest with yourself. If you're not honest with yourself and just accepting anything, it's not gonna work. You end up being on the wrong side because you accepted things that you cannot commit yourself to. Like what I said, that you have to be honest, and also in the same way, you need to be true to yourself, to the things that you want to achieve in a relationship. Now, in the reasons that you have provided your partners, for the growth. There are also reasons that your partner cannot fulfill them. That's when you see that many people, they find it difficult and they get caught and they start, running away from their responsibilities because those reasons were not met and they were not given such responsibility, such reasons to why they wanted that particular person. So because of that, you find that the person starts getting caught and, start running away from their responsibilities and start changing their behaviors. And those are one of the reasons that they didn't find what they were looking for. Maybe the first thing was just a feeling of having someone, but if you ask them to be committed, they cannot be committed. If you want to talk out, they cannot talk things out. They just want to okay, so Tishua, I'm gonna go back to talk about the accepting those habits. Yeah, so like what I was saying, if those things are not met, you will find that the people or the person they are now resenting. They will start now reversing their decision. Why they first said that they love you, but now they no longer love you. Why? Because the reason was not met. So many reasons that have made people to make wrong decisions. So many reasons that have made people be in a relation with wrong people, a wrong partner. So many reasons that have made people to be fighting now because they didn't really find a proper reason why they wanted to enter into a relationship. In a simple way, a reason could be maybe I want to be with you for the rest of my life and love you. It's a fact, but it's not easy because there are so many challenges and there are so many things attached to that word. There are so many things that we are going to face in life that can even make you to change your mind, So, but if you have a reason that you really love the person, whatever comes along the way, you cannot change because you know that you have a reason why you want to be in that relationship. Many times people would just want to try out things, maybe they have seen a guy or a woman they interested to be in relationship with, so they just want to try maybe something new, maybe based on what they feel. So if those are such of the reason, that's why most people they will be in problem, because when you are now together, you start seeing things like the habits and so on and so forth that are not what you expected. But before you were there, you only saw maybe the beauty out of it that attracted you. So my suggestion is we need first to find a reason. The reason is important for us to be in a relationship. You need to find a reason. That's why I said that if you are in a relationship with someone you are not comfortable with, which means the reason that you are in a relationship was not a genuine reason, because that reason is coming back to you because you have discovered that no, this person is not the right person and you cannot commit yourself to that person. But that genuine reason, when you have the genuine reason, whatever you see in that person, you know that you're gonna work something out of it. You love the person not because of what they have, but you love the person because of who they are. So the habits, let me go back to the habits. There are so many habits that we have in our lives that can destroy relationships, marriages, and they can destroy us in so many ways. Those habits, they are what made people to not grow, to start fighting and quarrel and do all sorts of things. Because one, the habit is something that you created. You created and you accepted it in your life. You created it, it's a behavior that you allowed it, but that's not what defines you. It's just a habit that you can stop, but nobody or no one can force you to stop it. You have to choose, because such habits are the ones that will make the relationship strong, because they will make the relationship strong, and at the same time, they are going to hate our partners. They are going to hate people. They are going to hate ourselves, and they are just going to make things very bad for us. The habits that we keep in our lives, when we look at ourselves, do they really help us, or just because we are used to have them? Do they really help us, or just because we are used to have them, that no, it's something that I'm used to do, so I can't change? So to start deciding on the habits, you really need to know the value why you are in a relationship. If you don't know the value of that relationship, you don't see any need for you to change the habit. So the reason why many people, they don't want to change their habits is because they have not yet really discovered the value of the relationship. They just think, oh, we are just sharing love and so on. So this person accepted me, even if they don't like what I do. They accepted it as a way of life, but it's not the way of life. There are some of the things that make our partners or people not to be comfortable with us. So as human beings, we have to change our ways in so many things, not because of ourselves, but because of other people. Not because the people don't love us. They love us, but they also want us to be a better person. So those habits, they actually make us to be someone who is not actually accepted fully. People might just maybe pretend that no, we are in this together, but they know that no, I don't really like this thing. So going down, I want to speak about the values. Okay, there are decisions to be made at the end of the day, and we are the people who can make the decisions. There are decisions that are supposed to be made at the end of the day, and we are the rightful people, not our partners, to make a decision for us. Us, we have the responsibility to make the decision in whatever we see that is not right or is not moving well. So those decisions, not all the decisions were that are made are correct. Some decisions are not correct in their opinion. That's when the values comes in the decision, because when you know the value, that the core value of who you are, you'll be able to know how to make certain decisions. And the problem with a lot of people is they don't know themselves. They expect somebody to change, but if someone comes to you and say, you also need to change in A, B, C, D, people start fight because they don't know themselves. Because what maybe the person is trying to say is, okay, what I like about you is A, B, C, D. And I also want you to do the same. That is because there is a failure of defining core values of ourselves. But to define them, we really need to know what are our core values. To make this session simple, I'll just stress out maybe 5 core values for us. Some of the values that we may have are honest, accountability, things like open communication, like what Mahmoud said, and financial philosophy and anger management. Without honest and trust, it's nearly impossible to build a stable relationship. So honest is one of the values maybe you have or I have, that I have to, I like someone who is honest. Okay, this is the value, that one of the value that I like the person who is honest. If the person is not honest, then it's not gonna work, because already they are not in line with your values, what you want. Okay, so another one is accountability. Accountability is something that is so frustrating, you know, when the person, they don't take responsibility about the relationship. It's not easy to be in a relationship with that kind of a person. You might be willing to be in a relationship, or you might love them the way they are, but if they are not serious, they are not accountable, which means they are not serious. They are, you know, they are just be there. They will just be in a relationship for the sake of being in a relationship, and it becomes a burden. And this is one of the value. And also open communication, like what Maham said. Open communication is something we talked much earlier on about this, the open communication. Learning how to communicate better with your partner is a skill. Like what he said, that some people are born with that skill, but so many people, they have to develop it. You have to be willing to develop that skill, and it's a must. Okay, so if it's one of the values your partner they want, then, and you know the reason why you are in that relationship and why you love them, I'm sure it may not be easy, but it has to happen, because you have to learn. It's part of the a love package that you are in. You have to learn to be able to communicate with your partner. So some of these things are things that you have to, you know, to be lenient, and you have to be accommodative. Not that you are like that. There are so many people who can stand and speak and shout and express themselves. Not everyone can do that. Some people can do that because they were born like that, to express themselves and to shout and do. Okay, while other people, they have to learn to do it. So if it's your value that you want someone, or you are in a relationship and your partner is failing to communicate properly, you have to sit down and speak out. One of the missing point in the relationship is to speak out things, what you feel. A lot of people, they would rather be hurt without speaking out what they are feeling to their partner. Why? Because of assumptions. They assume that they should know that I need this. which is something not possible, because I might want something from my partner, but they don't know if I didn't tell them. So when you are communicating, you are telling them what you see as more valuable to you. You are actually letting them know that this is part of me. That's what I like, and that's what I want. So you have communicated to them, you have told them. It's up to them on how they are going to receive it. But the good thing is you have said it and it's out. It's no longer with you. They will know what you're expecting. So when you sit down and talk things out, you have to let them know what you really want from them, what you are expecting from them, what you want them, not to impose, but it's those are your values, that these are the values that, you know, because even them, they also have their own values. Then they are gonna tell you, these are my values also. So if you know the reason why you are in that relationship, I'm sure you'll be able to learn each other's values. But if you are looking for a partner with these your values, it may not be easy to find someone who is going to accept. People will just lie and say, okay, I know this is what just because they just want to enjoy being with you. But when that reason has been fulfilled just to be with you, then they don't care about your values anymore. Then that's when fight starts, because they know, no, what I wanted is it's already there with me. Okay, so it's already there with them. So why would they accept your values now? So it's very important for us to know that when you want to be in a relationship, you need to look for someone whom you can have the same values, you can connect, someone who is accountable with what they are doing. I know they are here. I don't know some parts of the world. I'm willing to learn, but here in Africa, there are so many things that there are so many reasons why people enters into relationships. They don't even care about the values, your values. So many people, they don't care about the values that I know. They just care about what you can give them at that particular time. The things that you can just fulfill to them. Maybe it's a sexual feeling. They just want to have that feeling. Then later you see they are nowhere to be found. So these are some of the things that makes people why they are not committed. And these are the reasons why most of the people don't grow. And in such state, people will prefer that they should compromise in order to accommodate the person, because maybe they will change. Okay. But at the first, if the person didn't accept your values, they are not going to change. They will just get what they want, then they will leave, they will run away. So these are also the contributing factors why most people, they don't grow, because they accepted the people with such values because they just wanted to be with them to fulfill that. No, I have a partner, we are together, you know, so it's fine. But they are hurt inside. They know that that's not what I want. That's not the relationship I want. They are just trying to compromise in order to suit with their friend, in order for them just to accommodate the friend or the partner. But in reality, they have compromised and they are not even trying to live a part of their values. here in South Africa, I've seen like many women, if many women that they'll just they'll just take like a man just because maybe he's got a nice body, or he's got a nice body, is
Nice body is a
presentable.
very good plus.
Okay, so they don't really care about all other values, whether the person is what they want. They are going to build the future together. They will just want someone who is presentable, whom when they are working together, people say, wow, look at that. That's a lovely couple. But they know inside of them that is not what it is. And some people can accept such kind of a situation just because they want to prove a point to someone that I can have this kind of a person in my life. You people, you thought I cannot have such kind of a person. I can have, but are they? Is that the person that they really need? They really want in their lives? No. So a lot of people, they will compromise their values just to have a name or have a person to them. And another value that is in there is financial philosophy, how you treat yourself. How do you think you are going to be accountable with your partner when you don't know yourself, how the priorities you want? When we are in love first, newly, what you talk about mostly is about love and feeling. I miss you, I love you, I can't wait to see you. We actually forget about everything, the foundation, the most basic foundation about it. The first thing, something that you must understand is, if you really need to be together, there are a number of factors that are going to be there to build that relationship. So financial philosophy is one of it. So if one of your values is to build a stable financial stand, then you have someone who is not even willing to contribute in anything. A contribution doesn't mean you have to give money or whatsoever, ideas. But here, I know there are so many people who are willing to go out and eat every day, and without even thinking how you're gonna save and have future plans. They think maybe in the future we are going to see what's going to happen in the future. They don't really care about what's going to happen in the future. They just want to have the money and enjoy, go wherever they want. It's not bad to enjoy. It's not bad. You have to really enjoy this life. You have to feel that, yeah, this life, but you also need to be mindful about where we are going. As the world is changing, it's revolving, many things are changing. So if you are not mindful, or you have somebody who doesn't care about your finances and they just want to take and shop around and buy things, it's not gonna work. It might be hurting you, but because you are afraid of losing them, you just keep quiet, but that's not what you want. So such kind of things, they are also part of the things that destroys most of the relationship. And another one is anger management. This one is very tough, and because how to choose our words is not easy when you are angry. you actually know what to communicate, what to say, even though you are pretending you don't know. Many people, when they are angry, there is nothing that they think about which is positive. They only think about violence, and their heart is pumping blood and they just want to destroy. Why? It's because they want to make their point stand. They want to make that their point to be heard. So even if they are trying to speak to you in a good way, you are trying to stressing out a point and you are trying to say something positive, but maybe your partner didn't understand it the way you are trying to communicate to them. How they are going to conduct themselves and how they are going to manage their anger, it also says a lot in a relationship. So these values, in case they are the ones that you are looking for in a relationship, are your values met? Are you getting what you're supposed to get? Is your partner respecting your values? Because if there is no respect of the values, it's not easy to grow. It's not easy to understand each other. It's not easy to be accountable. It's not easy to be honest because the other person does not respect your values. In the same way, do you respect the values of your partners, of your partner? Or you just say, no, whatever. As long as we are together, it's fine. No, it's not fine. If you really want to build a strong and healthy relationship, you need to understand and share the values and compromise on the values. So these are some of the facts that you can not feel or have the same feelings for the rest of your life. Feelings change with time and situations. It depends on the situation and the reason why you are no longer feeling the same. Again, there are so many questions in a coaching session because change comes as a result of different factors. It could be a foundation, a perspective, finances, attractiveness, and so many things. So when you know the reason why you are there, you have to expect that things are not going to be the same. Things are going to change. And you need to be with a partner who is ready for anything. You might have a job and all of a sudden they fire you. You don't have any other option. Are you willing to sacrifice to still stay and have feelings for your partner for your partners? Because we really need to understand that as times goes by, we cannot be the same. There are so many things that changes along the way. If you are not feeling how you are feeling the first day you met your partner, how are you going to rekindle that fire? How are you going to show that you care? It was not all about feelings, because the feeling is not part of the reason. It's just an expression that is there in the relationship that you have to express and feel loved and give love at the same time. So in that state, after a year, 2 years, that feeling is not there. Are you gonna run away? Are you gonna leave? Are you gonna find somebody else? Okay. So situations can change us, can change people, can change our partners. Families can change us, can change our partners. We can change in a whole lot of different ways. If you remember for the past, this past year, there are so many things happening because of the pandemic, and a lot of people were fired from the jobs, and and here a lot of people used to be fighting and abusing each other because maybe the person who was providing is no longer working. And so these are some of the things that happens when you are in a relationship. But when you have the proper reason in the relationship, you are able to overcome such things because you know where you are going. You already have the plan that no, these things happens in life and we're gonna go through it. Both of us, we're gonna go through it. But if you know that you cannot stand when such things happen, then that value is it's gonna be difficult for you to be in the relationship. So for now, let me stop from here so that if you have got questions, then you can ask, then I'll be able to answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. You reminded about so very important things, and we can definitely learn a lot from this session. I would say that, when you touched the point about the financial situations, sometimes people, they avoid to touch that topic because it's kind of sensitive, or people afraid to be materialistic, right? But you touched it, and I think it's like those things that we sometimes avoid to speak about is something that can, shake our minds, and we would have the opportunity to think about that again. You said that you had the question from Taishua, right?
Yes. Okay. She was asking about the habits, accepting. She said, tell them to go back to who was accepting of those habits. I don't know if I'm able to understand the question clear. If Taishwa can ask me, I think maybe I'll be able to answer it.
Mm-hmm. Then I have the question. Talking about the people who we want to accept, to be in our life, or we want to be with someone. Sometimes people, they don't understand their feelings. They even don't know why I want to be with the person, or why, what is my reason why I want to have the relationship. What they can do to understand their reasons why they want to be in a relationship.
Okay, the reasons are very simple. It's just like if you want to do something, like let me say a business. If you don't have a reason why you want to do a business, it might not work the way you want it. Because maybe you just saw some people doing the same business. So you just want to do it because people are doing business, then it's not going to work. But if you have a reason, for example, if I say I want to do a business, I want to generate some funds to start building my career. Even if the business doesn't go well, you are not going to give up because you know the reason why you want to do it. So you are going to try to understand where it's failing, okay? Where the business is failing, and also why it's not picking up the same way, and you are going to learn a lot of things along the way. Like, a lot of people have done it. It didn't work out, but they kept on trying until it worked out. So these are the reasons why people, when they are in a relationship, they are looking for beyond whatever is there, beyond like the feeling, because the feeling is not the primary reason, because feelings can change. Then if the feelings changes, which means you can run away, or you can say, no, I think I don't have any reason anymore. But if you know, or you have a proper reason why you are in that relationship, even if the feelings changes, you know that you have a reason why you should still be there. And that reason is to grow together, maybe have a family, together, and for a longer period.
Thank you. Thank you, Patrick. Taisha wants to add something.
Absolutely. I was saying in my comment, Patrick, when you were giving the relevancy about habits, how, you were saying that someone was like, hey, this is who I am. I've been doing this. Nobody else has ever had a problem with this. And now I'm with this person, and now they have these problems. And like you were saying, like, if you have created a certain behavior and no one has really called you out on it, yes, and like you were saying, they were just pretty much patronizing you, or just going with the flow because they enjoyed having someone there. They did not want to experience any type of loneliness. What I'm saying is, why did you leave those individuals who were so comfortable with your habits? Why didn't that relationship work? Why didn't that situation actually go the distance? That's because they really did, bother that person. And now, it's now, so now it's coming into play, and you're like, wait a minute, why is it now a problem? No, you just never saw it as a problem because those were habits you created that you were comfortable with. And now you're with someone who's actually letting you know, this isn't good for you. It's not good for me, and it's not good for the relationship.
Yes, absolutely true.
That's something, but that's when we are really ready to ask ourselves, maybe I really hurt someone, or maybe that's really, like you said, reasonable, like to look at that, maybe I should change that. But again, like Mahmoud were speaking about that, the way we speak about that, sometimes we're just bring that to person when we're just so pissed off. So we're not ready to accept the changes, and and the other person is not ready to change anything, because it comes at that way when like it's just lots of anger, and like, you just got me, because like with this behavior. From another side, sometimes we're not willing to listen. We really think, oh, I'm okay with that. That doesn't bother me because I'm comfortable with that. I'm maybe like, that's beneficial for me. And I do actually, deep in our hearts, I believe that we know what is beneficial for us, but not beneficial for someone else. And we just continue doing that. And most people, I think that you would agree with me that most people, they are decide better to move on, to change the person than to change the behavior, because it's kind of frustrating, and they keep changing the partners, being so perfectly imperfect, but not changing the things that hurt other people.
Yeah, absolutely true what you have said, that many people, they try to change the partners instead of changing the behavior in the person. And because of that, they are ready to find someone who is compatible with what they want. So the main problem was not the person, but was the behavior with the person. So in my opinion, and I think if they try to help that person, it can be good. If the person, they are also, if they'll be able to, or they are willing to change, because that's another part. If the person is willing to change, if they have seen the problem, like what Taisha said, that they might be that they didn't see that they have a problem because everyone else accepted them the way they are. So why you are having this problem with me? So that's when fight starts, you know. So change, it has to be both sides. If you identify and it's a genuine concern to your partner, you have to listen and you have to take an initiative to listen to what they are trying to say than to fight them.
Absolutely. Agreed.
Thank you. I had another question. You covered just in the beginning such a thing that you should do not be with the person with whom you're not comfortable with. But many people, they are suffering absolutely just because of that, because they accept to be with someone they are not comfortable with, and they know that from the very beginning. Why they do that?
Okay, the reason why many people do that is because of a perspective or what they want from the person. For example, let me give you an example here. I've seen and I know it's happening a lot, quite a lot, that some women, some people, they would be in a relationship with someone just because maybe they are providing things that they want, but they cannot even put that person in public, meaning they are not comfortable with that person, but they are in a relationship just because of what they are getting.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I think that's the topic for the, I don't know, for weeks to speak about. Yeah, that's very true. And what about, you as well mentioned that taking care of the relationships should be like, there should be just two people, like this is the relationship in between me and her, you know. But what if people try to influence or given advices how to protect each other, how to protect the relationship from that kind of like people who try to give an advices?
Okay. Why I said that point is, when you are entering into a relationship, the first thought is for two people. You are two people. For example, if I'm in a relationship, before I add someone else, a counselor or another person to help me, it's me first who wants to be there. Even though I may ask other people opinion, that do you think, is it good for me to be in this relationship? How do you look at it? The rightful person to answer that question is not them, it's me. They can give me the advice, they can give me the counseling, but the decision comes from me. If someone else pushes me to be in a relationship, it's not gonna work, because they are pushing me maybe based on what they think. Maybe the person is good, but for me, I don't see that the person is good. I'm not connecting with that person. So the first point was, you have to be in a relationship to connect with the person before someone else comes in. The other people can come in as a result of maybe you are having challenges or problems, so you are looking for advice and people to give you opinion, rather than someone comes in and tells you what you should do and how you should do it.
Yeah, that's I think so valuable things for people to hear when we're asking for an advice. by the end of the day, there is responsibility on us what we decide to do with that advice. If we decide to take that, if we consider to use that in the practice. And anyway, I think people never know what is happening in between too. And sometimes we ask for advice, and we are taking in actions, but those actions are based on influence of other person who doesn't know actually like what the situation really is. And here is like, it's sometimes it's for people not so easy to keep the focus on the personal feelings, like what do I feel about that? Because even if it hurts sometimes, the misunderstandings in between two, but we feel that we should not say that, or we should not do that, or we should not like follow the advice, or we should not even ask for advice. But we need those kind of support, and we go for that. And as well, like our body, and we feel we have the intuition, we have our body, and many people, we are connected to our intuition. And just like well, maybe I will give that a little bit later, just a little practice how we can sense like I want this or I don't want this, and our body gives us an answer if we should do that. Because many relationships, I think, being hurt because people just they actually, even without, even what is worse, even without asking asking for an advice, they start to point in, oh, you know, that's not so good in your relationship, why don't you change it? And that's ruining lots of people's life. In terms of that, may I ask you if you can give an advice how, just in the very beginning, when you said that you should understand that this is your person, like, and you are comfortable with your person, how to understand, is there any tips that you can advise people how to understand that there's his or their person? Or the second one, how to resist, do not go into relationship with those people with whom we're not comfortable.
Okay, so my tips and advice is, first of all, you have to be honest with yourself. It's a key. If you are not honest with yourself, you make a lot of wrong decisions. So the problem with a lot of people is we are not honest with ourselves. We just want to impress other people.
Oh, wow.
So in the end, we end up being hurt, but we want people to feel sorry for us. But they don't really know the reason why we made that decision. We wanted to impress people instead of being thoughtful of the decision that we are making. Is this the right decision that I am taking? So you need to take time. You need to take time to think about a lot of options. There are so many options out there. You know, when you travel, you meet different people. I can tell you that out of the people you say, these people are good people, because you have never met them. You actually say, these people are good people. Why? Because maybe they did something, they helped you in a way that nobody has helped you. So you think that those people are good, but maybe they did good to you because you're a stranger. But if you ask someone else about them, they'll say, no, that person is not good. So there are so many options. There are so many ways on how we can be honest to ourselves. We can give ourselves time and evaluate. That's why I've heard a lot of people who say, give me some time to think about it, on how I can come up with a better answer to what you're asking me. It's actually not a bad thing. It's actually giving you self-confidence and know that you want to be in a situation that you have to commit yourself, rather than just rush and make a rush decision that no, it's fine, it's okay, I like the person, it's good. That's when you meet problems, because you didn't take time to think about it. But when you have time to think about such things, you make proper decisions, and you fight so many things inside of you that, what if this, let me try this. If this didn't work, I think I'm gonna do this. So the reason why people do that, they enter in a relationship with people whom they are not comfortable with, is because they are not, most of the people, not all the people, but most, they are not honest with themselves. Two, they just want to impress people. Three, they just want to impress the person that they are not difficult, you know, they are flexible, yeah, they are genuine, and they are true. And they just want to give it out, and so they'll end up being in a relationship, a wrong relationship, with somebody they are not even compatible with. They are not even matching in so many different ways.
Sometimes people play, by the way, when they want to have an answer, what they want to have, not what you would give because of your feelings. They try to rush people. So
Yes.
you are in stress to like, hey, I want you to be my girlfriend just like today. If you're not gonna give me that, like I would leave you, you know, or like I'm playing, but like, let's go married tomorrow. And you understand, you feel that I need the time to think, or it's not my cup of tea at all. And people are rushing you onto something that you don't want to do, or you don't want to have, or you feel that's not something good for you, but they are trying to put you on a stressful position. So you, out of your kindness, out of your politeness, out of the position to not hurt other people, would say, rather say yes, even if that will be bad for you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. It's because of maybe the outside force, if I may say it in that way, the outside force, or the world, how the world is revolving around, and things that are happening so quick. And so some people, they would suggest that maybe they want to adapt to the new norms of the world, that no, these days people don't have that time to be thinking and waiting. You just have to say yes.
Because they want it. Yeah. Patrick, that was absolutely, sorry, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine, you can speak.
No, I just wanted to say that you brought really important things that people sometimes they, as I said, they are just shy to talk about that, because that's something inappropriate to remind about, or it's just not like, it's not polite to ask about that or to talk about that. And you brought the points that are really, really important. That was my pleasure to listen to you, and that was so wow. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Nerphetz Patrick, the crisis management relationship person who shaped her mind today to think about important things, and to remember that we need a time, and that we need to think about ourselves first, and put our needs first, and understand why we want to have the relationship. This is so, oh my God, so awesome question. And that you brought to us, that why you want to be in a relationship. I wanted to ask, by the way, sometimes people, they don't want to share as well why they want to be in a relationship, because they do understand that the other person would not accept. If, for example, that happened, I would say that happened a lot to both sides. When people want to have the intimacy, for example, they would never say, you know,
Yes.
I just want to have the intimacy with you and that's it. I don't want to build a relationship with you. I don't want to build a friendship with you. I just want to have one night and then just it, or just like have you as a partner and that's it. And people, they are not being honest, sharing the true reasons why they want to be with you.
Yeah, it's because of the lack of accountability with ourselves, because dishonest comes in the way when you don't value the other person. You know what you want, then from there you are going to find reasons to lie to them so that you can get what you want. So the accountability is one of the reasons why a lot of people, they make a lot of mistakes, and they'll be in a situation whereby they didn't want to be. Okay, so if we learn in that way, that in whatever we want to do, we mustn't only think about ourselves, we must think about the other person, that they are committing themselves to us because they trusted us. Okay, so they are not doing it because we said we want them, but they have actually trusted us that we are being honest with them. So if we don't have that mindset about the other person, that they actually willing to give out themselves to us because they trust us and they believe in us, then I have to be accountable and also show them the respect in return.
Yeah. Amen. That's very strong. I have the comments on a Facebook. Sonia Parajuli said that wonderful point, Patrick. People have the fear of rejection, so they are afraid to. I think that's to that point, that they're afraid to share the true reasons why they want to be in a relationship.
Yeah, thank you so much. And to stress that a little bit more, is that will give each one of us the advantage to really know what we want and what we want to build. Okay, what we want to build. I was writing a vision for one of the organization when they were asking me about me to do something. So the first thing that I did, they always used to fight and, no, why this thing is not done? Why this thing? It's a big organization. It's a church actually for almost like 10,000 people. So when they were asking me, I just asked them, what is the vision of this church? Everyone looked like they are surprised that they said, no, we want to preach, we want to win souls. So I said, okay, how? So they say, no, we want to be preaching to people on Facebook and, the church. I said, okay, no, that's not the vision. Because earlier on, they had showed me they have a plan. They want to build a mega church and, so I said, the first thing, this plan to build the church is not the vision. It's part of the plans inside the vision, of which I want to speak more about it later in the near future. of how I overcame, and I came up with the solution. What I discovered was they didn't have the vision, but they thought they have a vision because they only had plans on how to do things. Actually, not even to execute the plans. They only had plans to build and have big things and so on, but they didn't have the vision. So I came with this plan and understanding to them that, okay, the first thing we have to build to have a vision, a strong vision is, for example, beyond what you are planning now, maybe something that can go beyond 30, 40, 50 years. That's a vision. You have to think of the people, okay? In different world, in different parts of the world, to reach out to them. That's a vision. You want to reach out to them, but how? That's when the plans comes in. So when you write down the vision, the plan is going to be actually simple and easy for you to implement whatever you want to achieve. So thank you so much for this session. So as we are going along, we'll talk much on the issues about the growth of the relationships. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. As I said, to listen to men who would deliver those valuable things about the relationship, and that's so great example for people who want to learn, for people who hesitate about different things and values and different points of views. Somehow, women mostly, they are bringing those things onto the society, and care about family. So I find it truly amazing and magical things when men are talking about that. And my huge respect to you, and I'm blessed, and I'm so happy, and I'm very, very grateful for you. Thank you so much.
You're wonderful and you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Guys, that's it for us for the first part. The second part would be actually already in an hour. So we would have again the heart open guided meditation with Anna in the beginning of the next session. And then we will have Rosalba, beautiful Rosalba, who would speak about topic, relationships and the relationship with money, how they are connected. We would have the Kenji Santil talking about the respect in relationships, different aspects of relationships. And as well, our absolutely amazing, lovely, shiny Taishua. I'm looking forward to listen to you. To be honest, I'm so inspired by the information that you gave us today, everything that you shared, and I'm looking forward to for the second part, to see the second part and to move on from there. Join us, just 1 hour to go, and there would be absolutely beautiful speakers, and you're gonna love it. Thank you so much for everyone who's been with us from the very beginning for the entire 3 hours, actually 4 hours almost. Thank you, my just huge not the respect, but I'm very, very grateful for you to be with us from the very beginning to the end of the first section. Thank you. See you in an hour.